So, Gavin, has he accepted defeat on this one?
Not explicitly, but that is certainly the impression given by Leo Varadkar's comments this lunchtime. As we know, we've been talking all this week about Leo Varadkar's signature proposal for a new 30% income tax rate, which he's been looking for in at least this month or next month's budget, if not in other budgets further down the line, which has been criticised by others inside the coalition, like, for example, the Public Expenditure Minister Michael McGrath and the Junior Minister in the Department of Finance, Sean Fleming, who have voiced some concerns that this would be a very expensive foregoing of revenue for the state and wouldn't necessarily benefit the most needy workers. And also, you've had criticism from even the likes of the Minister for Finance, Paschal Donohoe, who hasn't ruled the idea out, but has observed that it might be very difficult to push through all the bureaucracy and all the changes that might need to be done to payroll software around the country in time for this new tax rate to take effect in January. Now, we put it against Leo Varadkar this lunchtime that given all that coalition opposition to it, that perhaps his plan was dead. He didn't say it explicitly, but he did suggest that it was only ever an idea he was putting forward for discussion.
It's just an option, only ever been an option, and an option which can be considered by government between now and budget day. It hasn't been considered by government yet, and we've had no substantive discussions about it at this stage, so it's just an option.
Do you still think it's likely to be discussed?
Discussed, yes. All options will be discussed, but that's not the same thing as saying that all options are likely to happen. When it comes to budget time, whether it's on the tax side, the social welfare side or the spending side, there's a list of options longer than my arm and yours put together, and what will happen is before budget day they'll all be discussed.
So Leo Varadkar is still saying that there's likely to be discussion around this proposal of a 30% income tax rate, but accepting that it is only a matter that's going to be discussed. And one suspects that, given the fact that he is no longer claiming it as some sort of a signature policy, that Leo Varadkar might be satisfied as long as there are income tax cuts delivered in other means through the budget. Interestingly, he did say that although there might be some concessions on this, that he does believe that he has won the debate on income tax cuts, because he pointed to last year's budget, which produced average tax cuts of around €400 a year for the average worker. He said those had been opposed by left-wing parties in the opposition last year, but that they now are also clamouring for there to be some payroll tax cuts in next month's budget. So he believes that he has won the debate on that front. You may have seen beside the Tánaiste there the Social Protection Minister Heather Humphreys, of course a native TD for this Cavan Monaghan region. She has been questioned quite significantly and quite extensively about her plans for welfare increases in next month's budget. She has refused to give anything away, saying that she would need to be an octopus to hold down all the kites that are being flown around this budget. Still an awful lot of discussion to be done before that budget is announced at the end of next month.